What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wayne. Let Wayne explain. And let me tell you something. I've been getting beat up this week, baby. I'm talking about they've been letting me hear from the hills, all the way from the doggone treetops. Because y'all know what this week is. Y'all already know what's getting ready to happen Saturday. But in case you don't, in case you ain't been tuning in, Texas versus Georgia. Texas versus Georgia. Texas versus Georgia. Now, y'all know where I'm at. I've been saying it since week one. We getting ready to beat Georgia. And I know I said that a lot last year. Georgia did not back me up. I mean, Texas didn't back me up, but nevertheless, it is what it is. But I think some people are of the mindset these ain't the same teams. This is not the same Georgia team what y'all think it is. This is not the same Texas team that y'all think it is. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it all year. Texas is a lot better than what you think they are. Georgia has not seen a defense like Texas have. Texas have seen a lot of good teams, like Ohio State, like a Vanderbilt. Damn it, I'm going to say Florida out there because I think Florida gets a bad rap. But I'm not just saying this because we lost to them because Florida played Georgia tough. So I don't think I'm crazy for saying that. But Georgia hadn't seen a team like us. Not this year. They haven't. And for those of y'all that y'all probably know this by now. Y'all probably know this ain't no secret. But Georgia is not good at getting to the quarterback. They are not. And one Archibald Manning is getting better by the week. Nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to pay attention to it. They still think it's week one Archibald. They ain't act like the brother ain't threw for 300 yards in back-to-back games. Like the brother ain't threw one pick that really wasn't his fault. He got one interception in 2 weeks. And again, that one wasn't even his fault. And if you let him just sit back, if you're not gonna get to him, and he mobile too, so you mean he can scramble and he can take off and run? Hey, dog. I mean, take off and run, and you ain't gonna put no pressure on him. You're gonna have a hard time. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. So if you're not getting to the quarterback, that's what anybody, never mind Texas, Georgia. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, you're going to have a hard time winning. And we already know what Georgia's secondary is. It's not really what you think. Georgia's really, their defense is really in the linebackers. It's not up front. It's not out back. It's that space right there in the middle, that second line of defense. So if we can put it over the top of them, we're going to be fine because the receivers, we're getting better by the week. We're getting better by the week. I thought they would be a little better than what they are. I'm not going to lie, I did. I thought Ryan Wingo would be a little better, and I wasn't sure about everybody else. But, I mean, Parker Livingston's been good. He's been good. But, shoot. But, yeah, I'm of the mindset, I'm of the mindset that I'm not going to say it's a blowout. I'm not gonna say it's a blowout, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a close knit defensive game. I really do. But for people to just think, oh, Texas is not gonna win, and a lot of thing with the real thing with Texas, people put something in their mind what Texas is, whatever it is, they put something in their head and they just roll with it, as if a team can't evolve, as if a team can't grow. As if there is no such thing as progression, when everything about this team has progressed. Everything about this team has been different. So my thing is if we were the same team, I think we probably would have lost. I ain't gonna say we'd have lost to Vanderbilt. Maybe we would have lost to Vanderbilt. We wouldn't be sitting up here with just 2 losses. That's what I'm gonna say. Because our offense from our offense now ain't the same what it's been. It's not. So I think we got to kill this narrative. And I'm sorry, Georgia and Gunnar Stockton, I just don't think they're what people make them out to be. I just don't. I don't think they're going to be able to deal with that defense. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. I don't think Gunnar Stockton's going to make too much of anything happen. I think we are going to run the ball. I think Trey and CJ are going to be all right out there. I'm not saying it's going to be a track meet, but I think we're going to be able to move them against their will. Get them crucial third downs. Maybe 2 or 3 splash plays. I think we're going to be able to do that. It's not, again, I don't think it's going to be like Vanderbilt where we scored every time we touched the damn football. I don't think it's going to be that. But I know one thing, this ain't going to be like last year. Because last year, Quinn Ewers was back there looking like a statue. I like Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers was cool, but we seen the Statue of Liberty move more than that, brother. I mean, good God Almighty. And we got a mobile quarterback, and y'all not nowhere near as good as getting to the quarterback. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do y'all think? How can y'all fathom that Georgia, like it's just a foregone conclusion? I don't see how you can come to that conclusion. And I'm not going to say Archibald is the force multiplier here, but if you struggle at getting to the quarterback, I don't see how you win the game. Not when the offense is getting better. So if you can't get them off the field, how you winning? And we're going to get y'all off the field because Texas has seen good quarterbacks. We've seen a Diego Pavia. We've seen a John Mateer. And I don't want to hear nothing about him being hurt. I don't want to hear nothing about that. The brother was out there and he was fine. He was out. He might not have been 100%, but doggone it, he wasn't 0% either. And we put a hat on him all day. And we healthy. So good luck throwing against that secondary, Gunner. Good luck trying to run against that secondary. Good luck trying to get around Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons. Good luck trying to do that. I don't think you're going to be able to run the ball either. Which reminds me, speaking of running the ball, speaking of running the football, that directs me to one Alabama. Alabama cannot run the football. That is no secret. We all know that. A running game, and without a running game, your chances of prosperity are limited, especially in college. NFL, you can kind of dance around it. You can kind of get away from it. You can kind of hide it. But if you don't have a running game in college, you only getting so far. And unless you just got one of them quarterbacks that can just change life for you. I'm talking about one of them generational, one of them like a Cam Newton's or a Andrew Luck's, Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence when he was in college. Somebody like that. If you ain't got something like that, you better know how to move them chains on the ground. And I'm sorry, Ty Simpson is not that. Ty Simpson, he's good, but he's not even the best quarterback in college. And he's not somebody that's just you just live and die with Ty. Well, maybe Alabama is. And to their credit, they've only lost one game. So there is something to be said about that. There is. But we talking about championships. We talking about the elites of the elites. And you haven't beat the elites of elites. We talking about like a championship. Can they beat Ohio State? No. Can they beat Texas A&M? No. I don't think they can beat Texas. No. And guess what? In Notre Dame, like Alabama, I don't want to hate on Alabama, but I just think they've beaten who they supposed to beat. And yes, they have beat Georgia. Yes, they have. But again, I don't think Georgia is what people think they are. I really don't. I just don't think. I think we're severely underestimating the talent that's below the top 5. The only ones I'm thinking that's sleeping that's in the top 5, obviously, y'all know I think Texas is a lot better than what people think. I just think that. And I'm going to say Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame had their chance at prosperity. But look who they lost to. They lost to a good Miami team, and they lost to Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is number 3 in the country. Now, Miami's on down there, but Miami's in a weird spot. But they in the playoffs because of this whole group playoff thing. But nevertheless, back to Alabama. If you can't run the football, you're not beating these elite teams. And don't give me you beat Missouri or Vanderbilt. Don't give me that. Show me where Vanderbilt's ranked win is. Show me that. And Missouri, that may as well be lipstick on a pig. Because y'all tried to decorate it and make them look as pretty as possible. And they have a run game, but they ain't got nothing else. They got an okay defense, but nobody was taking Missouri serious. If Missouri was in the Big 10 or the Big 12, nobody would be talking about them. That's just the reality of it. They just getting that, they in the SEC. So, you know that whole SEC thing. That's why. But if they was in the Pac-12 and ACC somewhere, y'all be talking about them like they Georgia Tech or some goddamn body. So don't give me Missouri. Don't give me that. Give me something else. Where, like an old school Wendy's commercial, where is the beef? And by the way, I know it might not mean a whole lot, but we did see Alabama lose to Florida State. We did see y'all get pushed around. It ain't don't just masquerade around here like y'all undefeated. Because you're not. You still have a loss to an unranked team on your resume. So let's not forget that. That is a point of order when we talk about Alabama. But they need a run game. You need a run game to be at least a championship, at least being considered in the conversation. And I'm really interested to see how they look against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma. That's not going to be no cakewalk. I don't think that's going to be a very telling win. That's probably going to be their biggest game of the season. Because if Oklahoma loses that, they're out. Now, Alabama, they got a little cushion because they just got the one loss and they have 0 SEC losses. So they got that working for them. But this is a must-win game for Oklahoma. For them to have a shot at anything that looks like prosperity, they must win. And guess what? Their defense is not too shabby. They have a very good defense. So I want to see how Alabama really looks against them. I think that's the game. I know everybody's talking about Texas and Georgia, and that's the game right there. But this Alabama-Oklahoma game, it's going to be something to see. That is something that I really wanted. That's going to be a test for both teams. That's going to be a test to see where Alabama really is. And Alabama's had some tests here and there. I'm not going to poo-poo what they've done. But lately, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because lately, like really this week, I've been hearing, Alabama, they really win the national championship. Alabama really win the national championship. You know, I know y'all wouldn't have said this at the beginning of the year, but Alabama, they got a shot at the title. And I'm just like, what Alabama team y'all been looking at? Who? Not this Alabama team. Look, I understand this is not the old school Alabama team, and I know this is a good Alabama team. It's not a Saban team, but the philosophy is way different. Gone are the days of Mark Henry and Trent Richardson and all that. You can just forget that. And I understand it. I understand. And I gave them a pass early in the year because they didn't have Jan Miller. But hell, Jan Miller been there, and they still can't run the ball. And with somebody like Caden Proctor, I figured they'd be able to do that. I figured they'd be able to do that. So it's odd to me that they can't. And I don't understand it. How you have a top 10 offensive tackle that's going to be playing on Sundays and you can't run behind them. That's just odd to me. Because let me tell you something. If some other teams had that, but I ain't even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. But somewhere I am going to go. I'm going to talk about this, how these rankings go. About these, how they're doing like the Group 5 thing and how you being 11 and ranked 11 and 12 really don't matter. And I'm gonna say, I like how they putting people in the playoffs. I think it's all right. I don't think it's as bad as what people are making it out to be. Because let's be honest, what shot does the 11th ranked team and the 12th team have at winning the title? They ain't got no better chance than USF or maybe Miami. That ain't no better than what Oklahoma's 11 and I forget who's 12. Their chance is just as good as anybody else. So why not put them in? Because let's be honest, and I said this last year. I've said this for years. This whole 12 team playoff, it's not the parity that you think. Like, it's still going to be, we still talking about the same 4 teams that's going to win a championship. It might be like an Ohio State or maybe people still saying Alabama, although I disagree. People saying like a Texas. You know what I mean? It's still the same powerhouse blue blood teams. Nobody's thinking BYU's going to win a title. Nobody's thinking Texas Tech going to win the title. A lot of y'all don't think Texas A&M going to win the title. And they rank number 3 in the country. Ain't nobody talking about that. They still talking about Alabama or Georgia. It's still the same teams. Although I'm not high on Alabama winning the title this year because, you know, the whole run game that we just spoke of. So I think we need to cut the committee some slack on that. Because let's be honest, it was ranked the top 12 last year. And guess what? Y'all was still crying about it. Y'all was still mad Alabama didn't get in there. Y'all was still mad Ole Miss didn't get in there. Never mind the fact Alabama had 2 unranked losses. Never mind Ole Miss lost to Kentucky. Never mind all that. So no matter what you're going to do, you're going to be mad. When it was 4-team playoff, oh, y'all was mad somebody got snubbed. Jumped it to 6, y'all was mad. Last year it was 12, and y'all was still mad. And it's 12 now, so my thing is, you're not going to be happy. Y'all ain't going to be happy no matter what, so why not give them a chance? Now, if they get their eyes beat out in the first round, so be it. So be it. But I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, see, that's why teams 11 and 12 should have been there. Should have been the 12 team. No, you know why? Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I just don't understand. Because I know deep down there are some people that really want this, but I don't know who need to hear this. But they're not gonna put 7 SEC teams in the playoffs. It's not gonna happen. They might get 4 or 5, which is still a lot. And the SEC is the best conference. It is. But this whole notion of it needs to be like the SEC Invitational, no, cuz. No, let's have some diversity in there. Let's put some things in there. I mean, you never know. Do I think USF gonna win the title? No, I don't think they no closer to winning the title than I am. But give them a shot, because you just never know. Any given Saturday. But I just don't think the difference between, because nobody thinks Oklahoma's winning the title. Nobody think that 12 teams winning the title. Nobody think Miami's winning the title. Not anymore. Maybe they did early in the year, but they don't believe that now. Nobody believes USF winning the title. So if none of them 4 teams winning the title anyway, what do it matter? They playing good and give them something to play for. So, I mean, you just never know what a team might do. So, hell. I mean, we saw UCLA beat Penn State. Well, we've seen a lot of people beat Penn State. So I guess that don't mean what I thought it did. But you got to give these teams a chance, man. Just give them a chance. I get it, Vaquan. We got 10. They rank in the top 10. 10 is enough. 10 is enough. Really, I think a 12-team playoff is really too damn many anyway. I think 6 is really a good number. But you want to put it at 12? Okay, fine. So be it. So be it. But they give them the top 10. I mean, goddamn, them last 2, you can't give a participation award to 2. It's not like they did it with 5, like the 6 through 12. They did it 11 and 12. That's all they did. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So let it ride. Because when they did it the top 12 last year, y'all was mad about that too. So I think they just need to let it rock out. I don't know what y'all think. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about this, because we ain't stopping, baby. This show is only getting bigger. This channel's only getting bigger. This show's only gonna get better. It ain't nowhere to go but up, baby. You know what they say, the best things start in small rooms. So it's all coming together, man. It's all coming together. But anyway, that's all I got, man. Y'all be cool. And I might be right. I might be wrong. I don't know. Just call it how I see it. Y'all take it easy. We out.